Hi everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about flex slots in 5-color Enigmatic Incarnation. So I'm going to show you things that are non-negotiable in the deck, the no flex slots in the main deck and the sideboard, and I'll show you the cards that you can put into those flex slots. Let's do it. These are the non-flex slots in 5-color Enigmatic Incarnation. You'll notice that the deck is, for the most part, figured out. Everybody is playing at least these 79 cards in the main deck in Enigmatic Incarnation and these 6 cards in the sideboard, which means there's only 1 flex slot in the main deck and 9 flex slots in the sideboard. So what can you play in those slots? You can play these cards in those slots. In that one slot, generally, you have 5 options. Now let's talk about why you would pick each one of these options. By the way, if you wanted to check out the overall strategy of the deck and things like that, then make sure you check out the deck tech or sideboard guide or whatever. That's not what this video is. First off, Glasspool Mimic. Glasspool Mimic is pretty cool in the sense that it's another land, so you have less of a chance of missing your land drops, but also as another card that you can Enigmatic Incarnation away either in Up the Beanstalk or Nowhere to Run to grab a clone effect. And clone effects are pretty strong because nearly every card in our deck has an enter the battlefield ability, and it allows us to trigger those enter the battlefield abilities again because a lot of our deck is one-ofs. Night of Autumn, I am actually really high on. Night of Autumn is sort of a catch-all card, which is pretty cool in a toolbox deck. It's a 3-mana 2/1. When it enters, you either put 2+1/+1 counters of Night of Autumn, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or gain 4 life. Artifact or enchantment hate in the main deck is great. Being able to gain 4 life and have a blocker is great against aggressive decks, and then it can also just have a big power for a 3-mana creature. Noxious Gearhulk is solid removal for potting away one of our 5-mana enchantments. It's a 5/4 menace. When it enters, you may destroy another target creature. If creature destroyed this way, you gain life equal to its toughness. So you're able to gain life. It's a blocker and a threat in and of itself. You'd want this if you feel like you needed more removal, especially against these mid-range and aggressive decks. Vein Ripper is an option as a 6-mana target. Is a 6/5 flyer with ward sacrifice creature, which means it's kind of tough to deal with. And whenever a creature dies, target won't lose 2 life and you gain 2 life. It's generally just a solid threat, and that's really difficult to deal with. 4th Overlord of the Mistmores is another option as a 7-mana spell. Having Impending 4 for 4 mana, it's a 6/6. Whenever Overlord of the Mistmores enters or attacks, create 2/2/1 white insect creature tokens with flying. This is probably the lowest variance choice, a choice that you can make and just make the overall primary strategy of your deck stronger because you just be adding a 4th Overlord. These would be if you feel like you wanted to target these. So you're going to select one of these 5 cards and add it to the 79 cards that are non-negotiable, non-flex slots. Now, maybe a harder decision is building the sideboard. So you're going to be selecting 9 of these 18 cards to continue and build out your sideboard. So you would play Portable Hole if you're worried about aggressive decks, or permanents that mana value 2 or less that are particularly good. I'm thinking like Witch's Oven or something. High Noon is really solid against Slickstock Show-Off decks, but also very good against Lotus Field. The 3rd Rest in Peace just has additional graveyard hate. 4 Knockout Blow for these red aggressive decks, which is honestly kind of a bad matchup for us. Leyline of Sanctity is really solid against Thoughtseize decks or the burn decks that are starting to pop up. Hellish Norn, great in the mirror match, and really any deck that has a lot of enter the battlefield effects. Also very good for us as well. It doesn't just neuter the opponent's deck. Thoughtseize, number 3 and number 4 for control, combo, mirror match, things like that. Glistening Deluge would mostly be for Selesnya Company. Very strong. Just 3-mana board wipe against a deck that honestly is pretty good against us. Thought Distortion for control and combo as well. And Rurik Thar the Unbound, a 6-mana 6/6 Vigilance Reach. When it attacks each combat if able, and whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, it deals 6 damage to that player. This is something we can Enigmatic Incarnation out that is really solid against things like Phoenix and control and combo. So you're going to be selecting 9 of these cards to join the 6 non-flex slot cards that are in the main deck. These cards. And once you have selected the 1 out of 5 cards to join the non-flex slot cards in the main deck and selected 9 of the 18 options to join these 6 cards in the sideboard, you have built your own personal but stock build of 5-color Enigmatic Incarnation. So if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.